Hi, welcome to Observer TV. My name is Uni Kim, and we're here today with Colin Goddard. Hi, Colin.
Hi.
You want to give us a little briefing about what your documentary was about and why you're here?
Yeah, today we screened the documentary Living for 32, which shares my personal story of what happened to me at the shooting at Virginia Tech in 2007 and kind of how I've turned that into now this campaign to support reasonable gun laws.
There's such people like Larry Pratt of Gun Owners of America. There's a quote that he said, and I quote, "The Brady campaign can't get it through their heads that guns are not the problem, disarmed victims are the problem," end quote. What do you have to say about that?
I'm familiar with Mr. Larry Pratt, and you know, his position and his mentality and his viewpoint on gun violence and what you can do about it is very different than mine. He seems to follow the idea of that I'd compare to, let's say, nuclear deterrence. That if we gave every country in the world a nuclear bomb, then no country would use them. If we gave everyone a gun and carried around all the time, then no one would use their guns, and it would be a much safer place. I don't generally agree with that. I don't think that, like I said earlier, increasing your exposure to an item that does harm does not reduce the harm by that item. It actually increases it. And if you look at the statistics, states with higher percentages of gun ownership have higher rates of gun homicides and suicides and unintentional shootings because there are just simply more guns there. The answer to gun violence is not more guns. The answer to people shooting is not more people shooting back at them. We have given New Jersey as well as New York very good scores in comparison to other states with the initiatives that they've already taken to curb gun violence. Unfortunately, your neighboring states, such as Pennsylvania and other states like that, don't have the same level of standards in place, the levels of regulation. So the guns that are used in crimes here in New Jersey, like the mayor stated, don't come from New Jersey. And so, criminals and those who want to do harm find guns in places where they can get them more easily, like in my state, in Virginia, where you can buy guns without any paperwork or background checks.
They call it the iron pipeline or something, right?
Right. The iron pipeline was the concept created by the ATF to explain the trafficking that happens along the East Coast from southern states that have very weak laws to northern states that have very tight laws. So in order to really do something, you need to have all states on the same standard.
You're not against guns completely. You're not anti-gun. So why do you think that it's important that people understand that, so that you don't, because people feel like you're taking away their right when you say that, oh, we want a higher gun control. How do you respond to that?
Right. No, people do need to understand that there are reasonable things we can do, that there are people who support the Second Amendment, as I do, who are also for simple measures as background checks on all gun sales, all the records in the background check system, things like this. Unfortunately, the other side of the argument, and the NRA administration has done a very good job of saying that our ultimate goal is to remove all guns from this country. That's not the goal. I mean, I'm in those policy meetings every week, and we don't talk about that. Unfortunately, the NRA administration is very absolute, very extreme. It's either all or nothing, yes or no, black and white. And there's nothing black and white in this country. There's the gray area is what this film is, what the Brady campaign is trying to shed light on and have actual reasonable discourse in this country, as opposed to saying, we're going to ban your guns, we're going to come and take your guns away. That's just not true. It's not true.
The law that you're proposing about closing the gun show loophole is not a very drastic, radical change that you're proposing. Why is it that there's so much opposition?
The majority of people who sell guns at gun shows run background checks, but there's a minority of people who don't have to. And it's, they sell the same guns to the same people at the same place. They should be held to the same standard. You shouldn't be allowed to be denied from one seller and turn around and buy a gun from someone else because there's no background check there. I found out the guns that these private sellers sell with no background checks are often more expensive than the same guns sold by a dealer with a background check because there is no check. And people will pay premium for that because they realize that there's no trace of that transaction. And for people who want guns without traces, I mean, that's the way to go. For more information on the film Living for 32, you can go to its website, livingfor32.com. And to find more information about your state and its current gun laws, you can visit thebradycampaign.org. Both of them, the Brady Campaign and Living for 32, have Facebook pages that we encourage you to go to and share it with your friends and like it. Check us out on Twitter, and you can follow me at CL Goddard personally, and hopefully we can get involved and you can add your voice to my voice and all of our voices to do something about gun violence in this country. Thank you very much.